Good morning. Well, I'm here again, and well, I still have my issues with Vivint. And for the people that have watched my problems climax with Vivint, I've asked them for a letter saying that if their bill is paid, they will no longer contact me. They will release me from contract, and yet and still it's been nearly a week and I still don't have that letter. I have the app with the post office to where I get to see mail before it gets to my home. And I still don't see that letter. To be honest, this is my fourth time asking for the letter. And only just recently did I decide to start YouTubing all my conversations with Vivint. Because right now I do realize is that Vivint most likely will try to take me to court. And this is why I have all of my records of payments and all of my conversations. Either I have paper copies or I have YouTubed all conversations because I just don't believe a company will allow themselves to actually want to go to court if they see a body of evidence that's built against them. And I don't believe that there's a court in America that will decide against a patron of a company to where there's mountains and mountains and mountains of evidence that service is not being provided. And every day that if when I talk to these people, all letters, all correspondence, anything will either be recorded and broadcasted in hopes that nobody will get their services so that nobody will allow themselves to be taken advantage of. Because this is the worst service that I have ever gotten. Personally, I really love the fact that Vivint actually says that they don't, that I didn't have sensors on my door when they took over ADT sensors. And right here, if you can look, there's an ADT sensor right there. And that's just one of them. To be honest, their technicians were lazy. Their technicians just took over every sensor that was already in the home. And now their biggest argument is that there was no sensor. Now, if somebody would have broken my front door, there probably wouldn't have been a sensor. If somebody would have broken my back door, there wouldn't have probably been a sensor. Because they broke in my sliding door, there was no sensor. That's what they say. But yet and still, they've taken over every sensor from ADT. And to be a top-notch company, the Mercedes-Benz, why are you going to use other people's stuff when your stuff is supposed to work 1,000 times better? Why are you just this is a way to cut costs to cut corners, to make more profit. And by them doing this, they actually save themselves money when, there's a $60.99 fee every month, but you didn't put your equipment in. The only thing you put in was your brain. But every time I have a problem, they'll put in writing that they came over, they did this, they did that. But in actuality, they come over, they play around with the panel till the panel stops doing what it's doing, then they leave. And they say the problem is resolved. But the problem's not resolved. This is why I don't believe that this company should sell their products anywhere. Because if you half-ass on anything, you should not be able to sell your products. Coca-Cola don't half-ass their product, because I guarantee you don't say I taste seltzer, or hey, this doesn't taste like Coke. The gas company don't do it, because I guarantee you, if you ever went to the gas station and your gas wasn't right, you'll stop going there, and I guarantee you would make a stink. You would raise all hell. So when it comes to a cable company, a phone company, and in my situation, an alarm company, what would you do? What would you do in my situation? Would you just pay these people to get them out of your hair? Or would you make as much noise as possible while you're paying? And yes, because I'm not getting the service that was agreed upon, they're not getting the money that's agreed upon. That's my remedy for this. I'm not saying that you should do the same thing, but that's my remedy. And I do acknowledge that, hey, that there is a contract signed, but that contract guaranteed me service. So until we can figure something out to get um, either uh, um, just a lawsuit or go ahead and get a class action, I'm just going to take my time in paying Vivint, because pretty much I can give them $15 a month, which pretty much I've been doing, to basically to make them mad and to let them see that they're wrong. And despite the fact that they're not receiving full payments, yes, they have threatened me. They said they were going to put me in collections in one letter. In another letter, they said that they're going to go up on my bill, because that I'm not paying the full amount. They're going to start charging me late fees. And yet and still, I've talked with Jenny from Vivint, just months before, and they told me, because one of my credit cards got declined because it was stolen, but Jenny told me that they don't have late fees. So if you don't have late fees, how the hell you gonna charge me a late fee? They don't want to send it to collections because somebody's gonna buy it 5, 10, 20 cents on a dollar, and all I gotta do is ask for a letter of deletion, and yes, I'll pay somebody else, but I will not pay these people. because they will not give me a letter to state that I can get out of contract, that they will leave me alone. You won't give a car to somebody without giving them the title. And just saying that, hey, you owe this much amount of money, I want it in writing to where you will no longer bother me. So until I get that, this is where I'm at with Vivint.